Hi, good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for joining today's webinar. My name is Vanessa Ferrero, and I'm on the customer success team for Seatrade Cruise. Customer success is here to make sure your experience is as smooth and rewarding as possible. If I've worked with you in the past, welcome back. Thank you for your continued partnership. If I haven't worked with you before, I look forward to doing so. So thank you for your time. I've prepared quite a few slides for you. I want to make it as engaging as possible. If you notice on the right-hand side, you'll see a box and there's questions there. So feel free to submit questions as I'm speaking. I have the wonderful event management team with me, my colleagues Veronica and Ignis, and they will try to answer questions as I'm talking. So you don't have to wait until the end. If you need clarification, please feel free to use that question box on the right-hand side. I'll also be using two polls today just to make sure you're following along and I'm explaining things in a good way. So again, welcome, thank you. I believe I covered all the housekeeping tips. This webinar will be recorded and sent to you in 24 hours. So if you want to go back and click on links, you are more than welcome to do so. Thank you for joining and let's get started. Today, I'm going to go over several how-tos, how to log in, how to build your virtual page, what it will look like from the attendee side, go over connections, really try to give you the fundamentals of our virtual platform. For reference, we'll call it Swapcard on some of the slides. So our virtual platform is by Swapcard. Here are some important dates. We do appreciate your patience. There has been some technical difficulties with registration. We will be working on that, and I will have an update for you at the end of the webinar on the steps that we're going to take. As this is a virtual event, we do have some flexibility with the deadlines. So if you feel that you need more time, please reach out to customer success or to your sales rep and voice that concern. We do want to make sure that you feel confident with your content and you feel really good. So these are suggested deadlines. If you are having any kind of issues with submitting videos, if you're part of the innovation zone, or your other packages, please do reach out to us. So again, here are our suggested deadlines for registration, when matchmaking will open, and when the platform will launch. So that October 5th is the big date. Let's jump into the how-tos. So accessing the virtual event for the very first time. The way that it's supposed to work is you will receive an email from me, this one on the right-hand side from Customer Success, with your reg links. Then you will receive an email from Swapcard, which is this number 2 right here to log into the platform. So historically, you would register first and then log into Swapcard. Since we ran into a little bit of a glitch, we're going to skip registration for right now. And so the first step is that you will log into Swapcard and register second. So again, little switch here on the 1 and 2, you're going to log into Swapcard first, and then you'll register second. We are working on getting that live today. So hopefully by the end of the day, EST, you will receive that welcome email from Swapcard. So it's hello@swapcard.com if you want to whitelist it. Then you will create a password and log on to the platform. Platform navigation. So once you've logged onto the platform, at the top of your screen, you will have this navigation bar. Main navigation has these 5 points. Oops. Oh, jumping ahead. The 5 points here are home, messages, notifications, and icons. They have these contacts. They have these cute little icons. So hopefully they represent what their meaning is. My profile, whenever you get lost, you can click on that My Profile. To move about the event, you will have this sub-navigation or the second row here. So this is where you can click on Products and Services Gallery. It's where you can look at the pavilion list. If you need help, we have a booth for that. You can check out the conference. So at the top of your page, you will have both of these navigations, and that's really how you will move about the event. We've come up with a description of the different areas just in case they are not clear and why they're important to you. So feel free to review this on your own, but it goes through each one of those buttons and what you can find there. The Exhibitor Center. So very similar to the platform if you're used to global. The Exhibitor Center is where you will really manage your booth or your virtual exhibitor page. So once you've logged in, you will see this box on the right. It should have our Seatrade Cruise logo. So you can click on the Seatrade Cruise Virtual and you'll be brought to the Exhibitor Center. If you're having trouble finding it or it's not appearing for some reason, you can click on that My Profile spot, that second image on the right, and just find Exhibitor Center that way. Once you're in the exhibitor center, there's several options for you to have. So on this image on the bottom, you can see on the left, we have home, company profile, meetings, team contacts, and your team. I'll walk through each one of those. But again, exhibitor center is where you can manage your company profile, your meeting requests, export contacts. So each one of your team members will have access to update this virtual exhibit page through the Exhibitor Center. Let's jump right into what you can do here. So you will want to build your virtual exhibit page. We call it that versus the booth just because it is a little bit of a different experience. So when you click on company profile, you'll be able to add a header and a logo. On the left-hand side, we've provided the specs in case you need to work with your marketing team to get the right measurements. That header can be either a video or an image. And for the video, you would want to upload it on YouTube or Vimeo and then paste that video ID link right into the box. You can also add a background image. This is a new functionality, and the specs for that are in this light bulb right here. Again, once you log into the Exhibitor Center, this will be on the screen and very easy for you to see in case the font's a little small right now. On the right-hand side is what attendees will see. That's what your profile looks like. Next up is the products and services gallery. So here is where you can add your products and services. You can upload multiple pictures. There's categories, as you can see here in red. So the categories are by sector, and you can select the appropriate sector. You can add a title, a description, or you can add a URL link if you don't have a physical document to upload. In terms of what attendees can do, I've listed that on the right-hand side there in green. Attendees can filter, they can read more about your product, and they can even add it to their wish list. And that is the wish list icon there, that little tag. So your products will appear both on your profile page, and then they'll also appear in the main navigation under that product and services gallery. So great, your content will appear in several locations. This is a quick checklist just to ensure that you're filling out all of the boxes, right? Because to be contacted by as many qualified participants as possible, it's really best to fill in all of the information. And this is just a reminder to fill out your social networks, your website URL, add documents if you have an infographic or a white paper, and the screenshots on the right are just to help familiarize yourself with what it will look like. These are just quick steps of how to add that document. So you'll see there's a space for the title, for the description, and it really is easier when you see it live. You know, we've chosen Swapcard because of the friendly usability. So we're hoping that this may seem overwhelming right now, but it is very clear once you're on the platform. Exhibitor center meetings. So meetings, very important. One of the top reasons why we're part of Seatrade Cruise Virtual. So in that same exhibitor center, right, we've been through a company profile check and we're on to meetings now. So you can see your team's meetings. You can filter by the status. You will even maybe want to assign a team member to a meeting if it's not a group meeting. So all of that can really be done here. And if you want to see your own personal agenda, that's where you would go to My Event. So that's the pro tip on the bottom. The My Event is in that navigation at the top bar that we were talking about before. So in terms of the exhibitor booth, if you want, meetings are managed here in the Exhibitor Center through the Meetings button. And at the end, you can export all of your meetings as well. That's one of the functionalities you'll see on the page. Next is contacts. Here is where you'll be able to view the contacts that you've collected. You'll also be able to export. You'll see the export all button in green. You will want to make sure that you are enabled as a sharer or your profile is being shared. I will show you how to do that on the next page. I believe this is turned on as you log in. It's automatic, but you just want to double check to be sure that it's been activated for everybody. So the takeaways here is the Exhibitor Center, you manage the team's contacts through this button. And contact is anyone who has initiated or accepted a connection request, and I'll show you some pictures of what that looks like. Adding a team member. So we'll start by adding the logistics contact, the main person that customer success has been working with, and then that person will continue to add other team members. The way that you'll do this is they will go to your team right here in the Exhibitor Center. It's the last button there on the left. And then you'll click on Write, add a member. And so you will search for that member's name and then add them to your team. To ensure everyone's profile is turned on, then you will highlight the person. Here is Ignis, and you can click on the pencil, and the pencil will show you two options, and you just want to make sure that's highlighted as it is here on the screen. Please note there are different exhibitor packages, so some of what I'm talking about may pertain to one package more so than another, and the different packages have different allotments. The attendee experience. I want to show you a couple images of what it will look like from the attendee side, just so you feel comfortable and understand the platform from both angles, and I think the images may help. Attendees will have many ways to engage with your company and vice versa. Much of it does start with your virtual exhibit page, the few items that we just walked through. And so I just want to encourage you guys to take some time as you're building out that virtual exhibit page. And we are eager to get you on there today. On the right-hand side is just a screenshot of the event homepage. So how do attendees interact with your virtual exhibit page? Attendees can bookmark your company. That's that icon there on the left. They can chat live with a team member. They can book a meeting. They can learn more about your products and services. They can access your marketing materials, and they can connect directly with you. So that is how attendees can engage with exhibitors. Making connections. This is fairly similar on both ends, so you might hear me say this again, but to make a connection, you would search for the person under attendees. In this case, everybody falls under the attendee bucket, staff, exhibitors. So the exhibitor page, the exhibitor button in nav will list out the exhibitor pages, but the attendees is where you'll see every individual exhibitor. So you'll search for the person under attendees. Once you find them, you can send a connection request. We do encourage you to use a customized message because that's the best way to really receive an answer. Oops. Oops, I think my computer fell asleep there for a second. Let me just make sure that we're good. I think we're good. All right, let's keep going. Swapcard is an AI-fueled platform, AI, the artificial intelligence. So we do encourage you to fill out as much of your profile as possible, because then when you come here, as you see in this blue header, people you should meet, the AI will provide suggestions on who you should meet with. So please keep a lookout for that as to what the AI is suggesting for you. So how to for the exhibitor side, something you can even share with your team once you receive this presentation. How to request a meeting. Now here we have the event navigation at the top. So to request a meeting, you would go to that attendees list and you would search for the people that you would like to meet with if there is someone targeted, or you can see who is suggested to you. You would click on this silhouette of a person with a plus sign, see when they're available, click on a meeting time, and introduce yourself within the text box that appears. The directions specifically are here on the right, so I won't read them directly, but again, when you're on your own, you can use this PowerPoint even without the voice recording to go through all of the steps. I would like to note that when you do send out a meeting request, that meeting time is blocked until the meeting is accepted or declined. How to start a video meeting. Once you have that meeting in your main navigation, you can click on My Event to view your meetings, and the button to have a meeting call will appear 1 hour before your meeting. On the right-hand side, you can see what that meeting call button looks like. You simply click the button to start the meeting. Please note here that incoming meeting requests will appear in the notifications area. So if we're looking at this event navigation toolbar, the notifications is that bell that's in the top part. You can also start a video call after being in a private chat. You'll just see this very famous icon of a camera, and you can simply click on the camera button to start the call. You can also share your screen while you're in a meeting. How to make a connection. Very similar to the attendee side, you go to the attendees button in the event navigation at the top. Then you will filter and search for attendees based on the filters that event management has provided, or you can search for someone's name directly. You'll craft your personal message and hit send. You can export your list of contacts at the very end of the event to maintain that information. I do think that sending connection requests is the best way to connect with somebody instead of only encouraging a meeting, because that way you guys are basically sharing each other's contact information, and you can export that list on your own without involving event management. Here are several examples of connection requests. On the left-hand side, there's a question request that was accepted. On the right-hand side, there was one that is declined. Just to note about the declines, if someone does decline your connection request, you won't be notified that it was declined. They will simply appear as connectable again once you go back and search for them. You'll have a summary of your interactions, bottom right, which shows the action you have taken. And then if you have something pending, you'll have that little time clock on the left-hand side. How to set available meeting times. This is for individual meeting times, not necessarily for your booth. So from main navigation, you'll click on My Event, and then you will follow the instructions here to see if you want to make this time slot available or make it unavailable. If you want to block the entire day, you're also able to do that. So this will be important as we're working on several different time zones. Group meetings. So group meetings is a functionality that we have. We are using a third-party vendor called Whereby. Custom company links will be emailed out by customer success, and so you will share your link with your participants for the group meeting. Here are several steps in order to make sure that your mic and your camera are functioning. The group links are for the Pro and Premium Exhibitor packages. You can have a max of 50 participants and 12 will appear on screen. Next up is the team member profile. Again, be sure to personalize yours. It's a lot more friendly. The artificial intelligence will work more if you have your skills filled out, if you have your interests filled out. So there are two ways to go about doing this. One is on the event homepage. Your profile will appear on the left, and the second is through the Exhibitor Center. You can find your name and your image on the top right-hand side. Here's the checklist of the information then you can update. And again, I think I've been saying this, but hopefully it's registering. Be sure to select topics and skills that you can speak to. So this will help make suggestions as other people are searching, and it will also help as people are filtering through the attendee list. How to make the most of your event. So before we jump into this, let's just do a quick poll question to see how we're doing. Move this down here. Let's find out what everyone's looking forward to the most. Just take a few minutes. If you can select several or one option, that'd be fabulous. All right, I'll just give that one more minute and then we can keep on moving. Looks like everyone's looking forward to networking. All right, I will wrap that up. Close our poll, and I'll share that in case you're curious. Great. Thank you, and be sure to ask questions as we're going along as well. Thank you very much. All right, let's keep going. How to make the most of your investment. I came up with a couple tips here. So let's run through them. Engage differently. Virtual is different. We're used to doing physical events and having a physical booth, but it's not like the attendees are going to come by and you're going to hand them your customized pen. So we do encourage you to find attendees to connect with. You can search through the attendee tab. You can look at the conference schedule and see who has registered for a specific conference session that aligns with your industry. So really think about how you can engage differently. Next up is make yourself visible to attendees. So fill out that profile, make sure that box is ticked when you edit your team company. Use the search functionality to find your best matches. And just see what's out there. Spend a couple minutes on the platform, even 10 minutes, just to make yourself comfortable, and always, reach out to customer success if you have further questions. Join keynote and track sessions. That will also help you learn about what's going on in the industry or the conversations that are taking place during these 4 days. And then maybe that can spark some opportunity to chat and understand what the attendees are talking about. Add content. Really take advantage of filling out profiles, maybe add a video in that header or logo, and filling out the products and the documents that you have. Feel free to use an infographic or a white paper or a presentation. Keep an eye out on the notification alarm at the top to see who's connecting with you, or what activities are happening on the platform. Also, take advantage of the platform post-event. Feel free to take your time to export the lists and to follow up and to review recorded sessions. And also we have a 2-question survey about for exhibitors that we will share with attendees. Again, 2 quick questions to see how your business has changed post-COVID. This will be in an email that we're sending out later, but if you have the time, you can take it now, and our marketing team will use your answers to promote information about your booth to attendees before and during the event. I do have one more poll I want to ask you, if you don't mind, and then we'll jump to the last slide. Let me check out my polls here. Launch. This is a question about technological skills. I think having a digital or virtual event is really pushing a lot of us out of our comfort zone to do more. And this would be great to understand how comfortable people are with the platform and technology in general. Great. So every answer is a good answer. Sometimes I feel like my skills are identical to my grandmother. Just kidding. Sometimes you have to lean on family and friends. It's all normal. Great. Close this. Share the answers. Wonderful. Thank you for participating. And let me move on to our last slide. Here is some helpful information that just want to put in one area. On the left-hand side, we have some links. So we have a resources page that Seatrade created and some FAQs. Then we have the Seatrade virtual homepage where you can find more about the conference and other areas, as well as a link straight to the conference agenda. So a resource center, FAQ page, the general homepage, and the conference agenda. When in doubt, email success. And if we don't have the answer, we work very closely with the team and we can reroute that question and get it answered. On the right-hand side, since we are very virtual and digital, let's promote your participation. So be social pre and during the event. Here are our handles and hashtags. These images are live, so you can click on them to go to those individual social areas. We do have free expo passes for clients. If you click on that, it'll take you to the reg page, and your client can register for the free expo pass once we have registration for attendees is working, so that'll be fine. Download the signature banner. I'm not sure if you guys know, but we do have this banner for exhibitors, and you can just stick that in your signature as you're communicating with your clients. And then below is a pro tip. I had started to mention this, but you can click on the program sessions, scroll down and see who is registered, just another way to interact and find different attendees. So I hope this was helpful. I believe I'm in about 30 minutes. I wanted to keep it engaging and quick. You will get this presentation. It is recorded, so you can view it at your own time. And I think that's it. Be sure to log your questions in here, and I can follow up directly with you. We also have handouts if you look at your nav bar on the right. So I did make this presentation into a PDF. That's the Exhibitor Guide Virtual 2020. And then we also have an infographic that has 6 steps that we hope you find helpful. So again, thanks for your time. We're really looking forward to having you on the platform. This is very exciting, and whatever growing pains we have in the beginning, we'll get over them quickly. So I look forward to working with you, and let's get started.